himself while watched by a mass of people who do nothing about it.
Well, it's a film about escalation.
Their conflict was just nothing more than a mirror of the world's conflicts.
And it's absolutely like international diplomacy.
This repetition of it became hypnotic in the end. I thought, don't want him to finish breaking this car up. I want him to go and find something else. Then go and find Stan Laurel's wardrobe and start smashing his wardrobe up. You know what I mean? They all get on a bus and go downtown to where Laurel Hardy's house is, and Finlay starts to pull that house to pieces. Do you know what I mean?
The mutual destruction increases and increases. You remember at the end of that film, there's nothing left. The car doesn't exist, and the house is in ruins.
And when they finish pulling his house to pieces, they for anything else he's got, you know. They find he owns a laundry in the street, so they all get on a bus, all the audience, the crowd as well. They all get on there, they get off the bus, they smash the window in, they get back on the bus, catch the bus, go all the way back to Laura Hardy's house. So it can go on and on forever. It leads to war, doesn't it, you know?
Oh, it's gonna get out of here quick!
But somehow or other, these two survive despite it all. He comes out ready for the next advent, you know. Whereas all the heroes perish in blood, these little people seem to coming from nowhere, and all is succeeding to be unsuccessful, but continuing on their lives. You know? But lovely relationship, wasn't it?
How to conclude such a story? Cool facts or rush judgments have precious little to do with magic. After the rich and relatively brief period of the vintage short films, Laurel and Hardy had to expand into features that were perhaps less good by comparison. A break with Hal Roach, and then films for other companies, but never again the same magic.
Rapidly and visibly, they were aging. Financial ups and downs. A return to the music hall. Then in 1952, their last picture. To many, a horror film.
A film I cannot watch is Atoll K. I don't want to see my comedians grow too old. I don't want to see them too wrinkled, too hesitant. And so I would prefer to remember Stan and Laurie at their peak, and I'm sure that Stan and Ollie would be remembered in their prime, doing what they did best, as nobody else could do it.
After a long illness, Oliver Hardy died in Hollywood on August the 7th, 1957.
Stan spent the last 8 years of his life with his wife in the flat overlooking the Pacific. He was ill, but he was in good spirits. He was able to enjoy the first waves of popularity brought about by television. Anyone could ring him. His name was in the phone book. In 1961, he received an honorary, though perhaps belated, Oscar. He dubbed it Mr. Clean. Stan Laurel died on February 23rd, 1965. He was buried at the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Hollywood.
There was quite a big crowd there. All the old comics go, you know. About the only time we old silent comics get together is at the funerals. And we always, afterwards, we see each other and talk, you know, because we see the old-timers thinning out. And I saw a lot of them at Stan's. Buster Keaton was there, and Chester Conklin, and quite a few that are left still. Well, then after I went to Stan's, then Buster died, and then Chester Conklin, and there aren't many left.
you, Ollie.
You're welcome, Stan. I want you to remember, from now on, my home is your home.
Thank you, Ollie.
You're welcome, Stan. I'm sure glad to see you, kid.
Hey, Ollie, you know, this is like old times. You and I been together.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth.
We sure used to have a lot of fun, didn't we?
We sure did.
You remember how dumb I used to be?
Yeah.
Well, I'm better now.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear it.
Just work your shoulders, snap your fingers, long and all in the hall, at the ball, and so on. Someone commence to dancing, commence to dancing, commence to dancing. Finally left your glance, I want you dancing, like dancing. You do the tango jiggle, the dances lonely wiggle, hold the order and home, try me and home. Commence to dancing, commence to dancing, commence to dancing. I want you dancing, like dancing. You do the tango jiggle, the dances lonely wiggle, hold the order and home, try me and home.
Have you anything else to say?
Well, no. That's all there is. There isn't any more. Is there, Stanley?
No, that's our story, and we're stuck with it. In it.